Yo, what is going on, guys, and welcome back to our VRL career mode series here on FIFA 19. And before we get into today's episode, I want to address what the stream title is, or the title episode title is I've decided for the longevity of this series and also time management, I am going to be dropping each stream down to 3 games instead of 5. Reason for this is that if we were carrying on with 5 games a episode, it means we'd get through a season every like 10 episodes, because obviously 10 episodes of 5 games is 50 games, and I feel like episodes should be about 15 like each season should be about 15-20 episodes. It means that you guys don't have to watch through like an hour and 20 minutes of footage. You can look through maybe up to probably about an hour altogether of footage, and it means that like I'm also not like restricting myself to just playing this for a couple hours a day, which I put into it a day. It means that I just think it'll be better in the long run just having more episodes, more shorter episodes, meaning that you guys can keep up to date with the series and whatnot. But we are going to be going into our first game season. Before we do that though, are going to be highlighting the 3 games we play in this episode. If it was 5, we would obviously be playing Real Madrid at the end of this episode, but because we are now restricting ourselves just to 3 games, we do have 3 different competitions. So we've got a second leg against Real Betis at home, which is going to be our first game. Then we've got a home game against Celta Vigo, which is going to be quite a nice game to play as well. And then we've got our final group stage game in the Europa League at home to Spartak Moscow. So we've actually got 3 home games in this episode, which is going to be good. And yeah, let's just get straight into it. So going into this tie, we have beaten Real Betis on 2 occasions this season, once in La Liga and also in the first leg of this cup tie, which we won 1-0 away from home. So it's just going to be interesting to see how we do. We obviously want to be winning this game as well, but looking at the team after our impressive win at the end of last stream, if you didn't go and check out, we beat Barcelona 2-1, came from a goal down after Coutinho just rifled in first time from the edge of the area, but goals from Ndidi and Sanabria saw us through. But one thing I will say in this game is obviously we need to be rotating, because look at that team, that is ridiculously like bad. But Lopez is going to come in for a game. Jesus is also going to be playing instead of Alvaro, who's been stunning this season. Leon's going to play instead of Gaspar. We've got Lamina that can come in instead of Tolisso. We've got Gerard Moreno, who's going to be playing up front. And can we play Teo on the wing? You know what? We're going to play Munir. I think that'll be alright. And we're going to bring Caceres onto the bench instead of Mario Gaspar. But for that, like, our team's fit enough, I guess, for this game. Obviously, we do have Celta Vigo coming up, so we need to obviously be wary of that. But anyway, let's get into it. As you guys might remember, there is one player that's on a very impressive run this season, and that is Antonio Sanabria, who has scored in each of his last 9 games in our competition. I don't think at this stage he will play any part in this game against Real Betis, his old club, but I will say if he does, then he's looking to score in 10 consecutive games, which would be absolutely fantastic. But anyway, let's get into this first game of the episode, and it is a home cup tie, second leg against Real Betis. Let's go. I'm looking for players to start to make an impact as we get towards the middle part of the season. Obviously Munir is still looking for his first official goal after having one chalked off. Was it in the first leg? Well, it doesn't matter. He has already got his first goal for the club now, and that is a brilliant finish to claim it. And you can see by his delight that he is just going mental. He's like, finally, that is mine, and he gets his first goal for the Yellow Submarines. That is a brilliant start after 3 minutes. We are a team that have grown famous this season for early starts and getting early goals, and that will just really ease some nerves, because we only have a 1-goal lead on aggregate going into this, but we've doubled that within the first few minutes of our home second leg tie. Brilliant shot to beat Barch to it, and he also beat the keeper to it. I mean, Money is now off the mark for Villarreal, and that's one thing I want to address. Obviously, I do believe that our wingers haven't contributed as much as I probably would have expected, but at the same time, they're doing okay. We've got like Vasquez, who I believe is our top assister now with 8, so I'm not too fussed about him getting too many goals. But overall, if you come from Real Madrid and you're 83 rated, you need to be doing a bit better, and I think overall he has disappointed to that extent, but you've got to take into consideration the assists, and I think in games he can go a bit quiet, but overall he's done alright. I mean, I think I would put a bit too much pressure, because normally it's my wingers that do get a good amount of goals, but now it seems that it's Sanabria, our main striker, that has got the goal. But anyway, let's get back into the commentary of this game, and obviously we just saw Vasquez's shot there, but took a deflection, went out for a corner. Keep it alive with Sanchez after failing to capitalise from a corner. Gerard Moreno, what can he do? He gets out to the right back position to Leon. Leon goes for the near post cross, and Paul Lopez, a goalkeeper we've seen far too much this season already. This is the 3rd game already against Real Betis. Obviously we have one scheduled, one more scheduled this season when we go away to them in the league, which will be later in the campaign. But at the moment we're not focusing on the league campaign, we're focused on progressing the league. Good header there by Mashori. I can't remember his name exactly, and I do apologise, but I only saw it briefly then. But anyway, we come forward, Gerard Moreno out to Sanchez, down the line to Leon. What can we do? Cuts inside, just needs an option on the edge of the area, comes to Vasquez. What can he do? Gives it to Lamina. Costa is free. Obviously a player that scored 3 goals this season. Make that 4 from the tight angle. He has been superb, and like Money, goes over to the advertising hoardings to celebrate in front of his home crowd. 4 goals for Costa this season. He's nearly on as many as Gerard Moreno, our highest rated striker in this Villarreal team. I have to say, and that this is a bit off topic compared to Costa's goal, but Villarreal in general for me has really stolen my heart. Like, I have started to fall in love with the Yellow Submarines. Obviously Liverpool is my team that I support, but this team is starting to get a special place in my heart after how we've been doing this season. Obviously it would be very tough even in the series to say goodbye to them at some stage, but obviously my aim in this career is to try and conquer Europe. I do have ambitions. I'm going to the likes of Germany, France, Italy, and trying to win titles with teams there. Obviously I don't know at this stage if it'll be like the biggest teams I'll go to in those countries. I don't know if I'll be going to the likes of Juventus or Bayern Munich or PSG, or will it be with a team that I believe just has a bit more of a challenge to it, like Villarreal. No one's expected us to get to the top of La Liga in this short period of time by 10 points, might I add, but we have done that, and we've been absolutely brilliant along the way. Got Lamina trying to get it over to Vasquez and give him a chance to shoot, but keep the ball alive. Indeed, he's been pretty much an ever-present in this team. I think has he missed 1 game, or has he played every? I think he's played every game, which is the only player in the squad to do so. Even our goalkeeper hasn't, because obviously we brought in Diego Lopez for a few cup ties. I think 1 in Europe and 2 now in the cup, I seem to believe. But anyway, we keep the ball alive. Lamina gets it through to Vasquez. Vasquez has a shot, brilliantly shot with his left foot into the top right hand corner, and we make it 3-0. 1 by Costa, 1 by Vasquez, and 1 by Monet. So these are players that are trying to get more goals. Obviously Costa doesn't need any more. He's actually, I believe this is Vasquez either 3rd or 4th goal, I can't remember exactly. What a rifle into the top right hand corner, absolutely brilliant from him. But yeah, I think Costa's got about the same amount of goals as Vasquez, so that shows the level of improvement he needs to make. But I have no doubts about him going forward. I think that he is the player to have at Villarreal, especially next season if we want to be pushing in the Champions League. Let's see if we get Champions League. It might all falter, and I might be out of work, who knows. But I'd probably say right now I'm confident of getting top 4, especially when we're, like, I think, well, we're 10 points clear of Barcelona in 2nd, and we're even further ahead of the teams in 5th place. So It's okay, and it looks like it is half time. And considering last episode we obviously beat Barcelona, and the game before that we won 4-0 away to Rangers, we are starting to score a good amount of goals, and we're defending very well. Only like a thunderbolt from Coutinho stopped that. But anyway, at half time we are 3-0 up against a Real Betis team looking on the verge of exiting the cup. I'm just going to leave the same team out for now because I do realise that everyone on the bench also is knackered, so I have no intention right now of changing it up. I think that's one of the things that obviously I need to learn for next season, and for a team I need take control of. Let's word that right. Is I want to I need to have a bit more squad depth. Oh, it's a can be. Okay. Yeah, I need a bit more squad depth. I basically need 2 full lineups. Obviously, right now we've been dealing with 3 centre backs, 3 full backs, when I should realistically have a backup in all positions, which obviously I take note of. And I did want, but we kind of ran out of money. Costa with another shot. Pau Lopez has done pretty well there to see the ball away. It comes out to Ndidi to Sanchez. Leon has made a busting run to the backstay. Oh, Munich on the volley hits it against the crossbar and it goes out for a goal kick. That's unfortunate. It would have been nice to see him get his first and second goal in this tie. Okay, William Carvalho doing well after his summer move from Sporting Lisbon. It's kind of, I think it's going to be nice having 3 games an episode. That's just something I'm just going to allude to once again, because I have enjoyed the 5 games, but realistically I have to put like a couple of hours into this series if I want to keep it daily. So I think I'm going to commit to less games. So it's about an hour of my day, and yeah, it means that you guys can watch it in smaller bits each day instead of watching 10 games every 2 days, which wouldn't be ideal for either of us. Gerard Moreno, what can he do? He's been quiet so far in this game, but this player, Costa, has not been quiet. No one can keep him quiet. Oh, Moreno trying to get a shot away there, but it failed. I think we need to start looking at making subs, because if you look at our team, it is a bit knackered. So we're going to bring on Caceres, actually in his proper position of like a central midfield role. We're also gonna bring on I really don't know. I want Toulouse to get fully fit. I want all of them to get fully fit. I think I'm just going to bring on Caceres. I know that might be bad for Costa, at least at left back. Oh, we've got a ball through here. Toko Ekambi is through. Are we going to concede? No, Diego Lopez, who is yet to concede in the colours of Villarreal, has done very well then to smother the ball there. Got Leon. Is he looking for Vasquez? No, he gets it into Moreno's feet. Comes through to Lamina. Comes through to Costa, who is absolutely drained, and his pass literally just summed that up. Ekambi. Juan Jesus has done well. He gives it to Renato Sanchez, who still actually has a bit of energy left, which is actually quite surprising. I think our team isn't really used to a game every few days, and when you've just played Barcelona and we didn't really make many changes, which probably is a regret in hindsight, but it is key that we can just keep on going and keep like plodding along, really. Indeed, he gives it to Sanchez. I'm glad that didn't get through, because Munir was straight into an offside position, but we still have it with Costa. Munir gives it into Moreno, gives it to Vasquez. Vasquez hits it. Vasquez gets his second goal of the game, and considering he got 2 goals on his debut and only a few goals since, I think that is his 5th goal of the season right now. But that wraps the game up. Obviously, it was wrapped up anyway at half-time with a 3-0 scoreline, but we've just made sure, and that is actually a very good finish. 2 very calm finishes, but very decisive finishes from Vasquez, and that is very good. Indeed, he finally goes off. Maybe he should have gone off a bit earlier. Maybe I should have put it out play. But he was part of that build-up to that goal, and yeah, it just sees us at this stage getting a very, very comfortable 4-0 win. I don't think we've won 5-0. We've had actually a few 4-0s in this series. Vasquez is running through. This is what I wanted from him. Cuts in. Oh, he couldn't get a shot away. It was blocked. But that was absolutely brilliant from Vasquez. That's what I was expecting this season. And it's actually good that he's starting to get a couple more goals. Gerard Moreno into the feet of Lucas. Gets that out to Leon, who has a space to cross into. Sanchez with the header, looping over the keeper. And he's made it 5-0. That is what we want to see. Renato Sanchez refinding that form, because he had a bit of a dip in the last episode, and it caused us to want to bring in the likes of Morales into midfield and bring Teo into the starting lineup, which I think we're going to do again in the next game, because Teo, despite not scoring against Barcelona with 2 very good chances, he actually did play very well. So 5-0, and Renato Sanchez getting his first goal in the Copa de España, and we are home and dry. Well, that's definitely, well, actually that is the case. We're at home and it is dry, so that is a very good analogy. Is that an analogy or is it just a saying? I think it's just a saying. Good ball in. Diego Lopez, Sanchez away, and that should be it. Gerard Moreno not getting a goal on the night, but you can hear by the cheers they are happy that we have knocked out Real Betis and we progress to the next round of the Copa de España. Looking at the stats, only 10 shots on goal, 7 on target, so we're very clinical with our decision making. Real Betis having a couple of shots with only 1 on target. Possession wise, they actually just edged it, but it was very close, around the 50% mark. Our passing accuracy 85%. Their pass accuracy was a lot better with 91. We've not hit the 90 passing in this game, but looking at that, we've got plenty of players on 9 or more rating, with Moreno getting a 9.6, which is good. But actually, Gerard Moreno got 3 assists in that game. Maybe now he's started to contribute in different areas, because he knows that it's been quite difficult to get goals. He's had goals in patches when they're called upon, but I feel like he should be like banging them in more consistently. But he's proven that he has more strings to his bow. That would be a good analogy. Speaking of analogies, but anyway. Very good win, and that sees us through to the, did that say the semi-finals of the Cup? Really? But the thing is, there's always such a big gap. Oh, it isn't coming, but I was thinking, where are these Cup matches then? But anyway, we are obviously going to be progressing, and we are going to be looking forward to being back in La Liga action against Celta Vigo. Should be very nice. Got a match rescheduled, so it says there reach quarterfinals, but it just said reach semi-finals. We've got Getafe. So we have them 3 times in the space of a month in January, which is okay. I can accept that. Playing them in the round of 16, so that's not even quarters. I don't know why it kept coming up then. But we'll reach the semis, reach quarters. It would be a bit weird if we were already in the quarters after playing just 1 round, really. But if you look at the league table there, Barcelona, I think, only got a point in their last game. They did a 1-1 draw away to Espanyol, who I believe are their rival. I think Espanyol are in Barcelona, aren't they? I think so. But anyway, we go into this next game against Celta Vigo knowing that we are 8 points clear, and we could potentially stretch that to 11 points if Valencia drop points in their game against... Where are they playing? Actually, it's not really shown. I think they have got that game in hand against Real Madrid at some point soon, but we are doing well. Atletico Madrid are struggling in the second phase of the season, but as we start to approach that mid-season like turnaround, when we go to 19 games of our 38 game league campaign, we do know that we are still unbeaten. If we can get it to halfway unbeaten, I will be very, very happy with that. But anyway, let's get into the game against Celta Vigo and not dawdle about. They can play in their home kit, that's fine, because we play in yellow. Not many other teams play in yellow. Right. This is the weekend game, so I do kind of want Costa to play it is a bit of an ask, but I do want Teo to come in. You know what? I'm actually going to play Teo at left back so he can come forward, because as we've seen, there are goals from that left back position. Plus Morales can stay out on the left wing, Tolisso can play, Sanchez stays in so he's not brought out. I'm happy going along with that, to be honest. Mario Gaspar comes back in, as does Tolisso, and Sanabria, who, like I said, is looking for his 10th consecutive game in which he scores. But let's get into it. I would probably say the only player that is probably going to be a huge threat could be Aspas. Ioga Aspas, the ex-Liverpool flop. You'd probably say, obviously he was only there for a season, so it's hard to judge him purely on that. Plus in that season we did have the likes of Sturridge and Suarez, but were utterly in form and brilliant, and obviously it pushed us towards the title going into the last day, but unfortunately Manchester City won that. But anyway, we have our second game of the episode, second game at home of the episodes, and we are doing well. Obviously these are top goal scoring teams. We are leading the way with 29 over 25 from Barcelona. Hopefully we can get a few goals today to continue that, because after our 5 goals in midweek I am a bit buoyant right now. Got Tolisso, gives it to Morales, who is starting out on the right hand side, it seems. Into Tolisso, into Teo. Teo cuts in. Teo goes for the shot, but it's a weak effort. Probably like a bit of a carbon copy of his shot against, well, his first shot against Barcelona. Gives it to Morales. Morales has a shot. Oh, just wide of that far left hand post. I think he's just staying out on the left wing. Well, actually, he's going back to the left wing, I would assume. Now the ball's gone out of play, but he started the game brightly from the right hand side. Maybe that's more of a position for him. And then it means that Vasquez can cut in from the left hand side. I don't know. But anyway, offside called for I don't know who that was, honestly. Tolisso inside, passing is much better, and this is what I mean. Teo's got that pace from left back position. Big first touch obviously didn't really help him, but it means that he is going to be a threat from there. Sanchez onto Vasquez, onto Sanabria, who gets it to Morales. Morales has a shot, but Sergio saves well and quite easily, actually. I was expecting a bit better from that shot, but we are one of the league's best early starters, so Morales can't keep hold of it. Sanchez, can he win it? No, he can't, and he can't guide it towards the likes of Sanabria, who obviously is chasing I would say it would be a record. Okay, ball goes out to Gaulin. Gaspar manages to get it where it comes to the lively Sanchez, who gives it to Sanabria into Morales. What can happen here? Probably a bit penned in there, so obviously the pass does go astray and it gets intercepted, but we keep it alive. Okay, Sanabria trying to find Vasquez, but he wasn't really alive to it, as we saw in the last game. Ball over the top, can it reach there? Comes to Del Valle. This game is well, Celta Vigo are starting to get back into it. We've missed that opportunity now to get that early goal, and to be fair, we're making some mistakes. We're running into their players quite too often, so hopefully we can sort that out. Into Vasquez. Vasquez gets it to Gaspar, who manages to cut back, gets her ball over the top, and Lucas Vasquez, what an acrobatic effort to get the first goal of the game. This guy is starting to find form around this mid-season period, a very important period of the season where there's quite a lot of games, so a lot of rotation, but this guy, 3 goals in his last game and a half, or game and a third actually. Absolute brilliant from him, but this is a brilliant ball over the top by Gaspar, who gets another assist. Great little dink over, and look at this, like Di Canio-esque, and past the keeper at such a ferocious pace that it means that he gets his 4th league goal of the season, and that means, of course, he is on 6 goals because he's got 2 cup games, 2 cup goals, and I don't believe he has scored in Europa League. Sisto, Cabaselli's done well. He was back in the team after sitting out the game against Real Betis. got the lead now, so let's try and build on it. Good ball from Sanchez. Fortunately, it comes to Vasquez from Ndidi. Sanabria keeps the ball well. That was a pretty poor pass, to be honest. But the crowding. Ndidi has won it back. What can he do? He's going to square it to Morales. Can he get the goal? No, he can't. Probably sent him a bit wider than he was expecting, but that should have been a goal. Sanabria going up for it, but the defender gets to it first. Ball back in. It comes to Cabaselli. Can he keep the ball alive? It just got nicked from his feet just before he was about to pass it onwards. Sisto tries the ball through, but surely that's offside. Yes, it is. He was beyond his man, Gallin. And now Cabaselli takes the free kick. This is actually a very good game, to be honest. Sanabria gets it to Vasquez. Tries to send it down the line to Sanchez, who does well. Sanchez manages to cut in. Gets it to Sanabria as a shot, but it is blocked. Comes now to the edge of the box to Tolisso. Morales, it's a bit all over the place right now. Ndidi gets out to Teo, who can deliver first time. It's not great ball in, but on his left foot, but it's fine. Comes now, Teo can't win it, and it looks like it's going to be half time. Yes, it is. So it is 1-0 at half time thanks to a solitary Lucas Vasquez goal. And Sanabria still hasn't scored in this game. Is that record not going to happen? I just think that if you reach double, if you score in 10 consecutive games, that should be worth a bit of a record. I haven't seen much of him, and when he has had a shot, it did get blocked, unfortunately. He hasn't had a clear-cut chance like he has had in a few of the last games. Iago Aspas has now joined the frame. Joined the frame, I'd say. Sanchez inwards to Tolisso. Sanchez has run on beyond him. What can he do? Gives it to Sanabria. Sanabria has the shot. It's blocked again. Is that goal never going to come in this game? But Sanchez again gives it to Vasquez. Onwards to Gaspar. Hangs up to the back stick, and the defender does very well to get it out behind for a corner. Inwards, and who was that? I think it came off the defender last. Yes, it did. Aiming it in towards that near post. Oh, Sanabria is making himself a nuisance, and we keep the ball alive. It is only 1-0 at this stage, so the game isn't done and dusted, as you might expect. Comes across from Teo to Vasquez. Vasquez has a bit of strength to hold it off. Digs it up. I do apologise for my choking. Comes now to Tolisso. Into Morales. Morales can't keep it. He hasn't got enough strength. And it comes to Alvaro, the ever brilliant Alvaro. Now it comes through to Tolisso, who sends Teo. Oh, it comes to Vasquez, does it? No, it's another blocked effort. Celta Vigo need to offer more going forward. Obviously bringing on Aspas does give them that threat up front. Comes into Sanabria. Gets it back to Sanchez. Gets it back to Sanabria. Is it going to go out for a corner? Yes, it is. Just past the hour mark. What's going to happen here from the corner? Morales puts it in, but it is like it was just swinging away from everyone in a yellow shirt. Sanchez has been brilliant in this game. Tolisso out wide to Teo. That is a brilliant ball. Crosses first time. Vasquez going up for another acrobatic effort. You might think that's the way for him to score goals. Sanchez through to Sanabria. Sanabria gets it to Morales. Teo is coming forward now. Oh, big touch by Teo. That composure wasn't there, and we are now approaching the last quarter of this game. Possession wise, we have been brilliant in this game, but it is still only 1-0, so it is not over just yet. Vasquez through to Sanabria. Sanabria has the ball. He goes for the kill. He has scored that 10th consecutive game. He has scored. I butchered that. He has scored in his 10th consecutive game, and he doubles Villarreal's lead. Brilliant by Vasquez there, getting another assist. Takes it in well, but sends Sanabria, who manages to get on his stronger foot, and he curls it, and it's just got enough power to get past the keeper, who does get a touch, and Sanabria gets his 11th goal in La Liga. That is what you want from your striker, just to pop up maybe once or twice in a game, just to give yourself a good chance. I think the next time the ball goes out, I do want to bring off Sanabria because I do want him to play in the game against Spartak Moscow to end the episode. Munir also can come on for Morales, why not? And Lamina, who is knackered, can come on for Sanchez. It's just for the last 15-20 minutes, so it's all good. Oh, that is definitely a foul by Teo, who was very late. But if anything, it gives a chance for the substitutes to come on. I think that's actually the first yellow card we've had this season, and it was a poor challenge. I don't normally go to ground, but in this instant, I think it probably is for the best. Oh, it's a crafty one. They go for a strike. It's a low-driven shot, but it is well saved by Rulli and gets out for a corner. Sisto puts it in. Rulli manages to punch clear. Comes back to the defender, who I think that hit the referee. Okay, and now we've got a counter-attack. Vasquez gives it to Gerard Moreno, and he tries to receive it back. He hasn't got enough pace because he is a bit knackered. He gives it to Ndidi. Into Munir. Into Teo, who's been okay from left back, honestly. Good cross in, and it is headed away for a VILLARREAL corner this time as we approach the last 10 minutes of this game. Good, well curled in, but well headed away. Vasquez, can he deliver a better ball? He can't, and it is headed away yet again. But at this stage right now, a 2-0 victory is going to serve quite nicely, but it is not over yet. Celta Vigo still have time, but they haven't really offered much going forward in regards to shots. They've been in our half quite a bit. Good ball, good deep ball in. This is the chance. Boufal with the volley. Obviously, I think he's on loan from Southampton right now. I don't think it's a permanent deal. As we go into the last 5 or so minutes of the game, Alvaro just heads out for another corner. Well defended. We are managing to keep these clean sheets quite nicely now. Another one comes in. I think it was their defender that cleared it more. Sisto. David Costa. Ball through to Boufal, who does get in front of the defender and nick it past Rulli and Celta Vigo, who have offered not much in this game, have all of a sudden got a goal back. A few minutes to go. Thank God for Sanabria's goal. Vasquez, what can we do right now? Surely that's a foul on Vasquez. David Costas, who did very well in the build-up to Celta Vigo's goal. We are now in added time. There's a couple more minutes. Tolisso nicks in front to do very well there. He's just going to send it down the line to Munir, who... Oh no, it's Gerard Moreno actually. The ball is cleared. We are now at the end of the added time. Just cleared up to Ndidi, and that is that. Another win. Obviously it would have been nice to score more goals and not concede, but a win is a win. 3 points, and it means that we can, well, we stay unbeaten and our winning run continues, which stretches now to 7 games. Anyway, let's have a look at the stats to end things off. 9 shots, 6 on target. We normally average about 9 or 10 shots in a game. Our passing accuracy was better than the opposition this time, as Celta Vigo's was at around 77%, which is pretty poor. Anyway, look at the player ratings. I'm not surprised that it is given to Lucas Vasquez, who manages to get both a goal and an assist. Mario Gaspar getting the other assist, and obviously the other goal goes to Sanabria, who has scored in each of his last 10 games in all competitions for VILLARREAL, which is absolutely brilliant considering he is still relatively new to this team as we play through December. But now going into the last game of the episode, it is going to be our final group game of Group G, I believe, of the Europa League, with a home tie against Spartak Moscow. We also already know that we are going to end top, as Spartak Moscow can't, even if they win against us, they can't close the gap. The maximum they can be on is 12 points. The maximum we can be on is 18. We want to end it with another win, so we win all 6 of our group games, and hopefully we can do that. So let's advance to it, and let's see if we can win this. Got a couple of player conversations. Diego Lopez is wanting to put in a transfer request. I do agree that he is good enough to get football elsewhere regularly. But with that being said, I don't want to lose him just because then we'd only be stuck with one keeper, even though really probably could play every game of the season. I just think, to be fair, Diego Lopez, I was going to play in this game, so I think he should just stick around for a bit. But because we're approaching January, I can understand why he would be looking to move away from El Madrigal. But anyway, let's sort out the team as best as we can. Gaspar again is going to be rested, but because Costa didn't play in the last game and Teo played at left back, then he is now being restored into the team. I think I'm going to stick with that starting lineup because I want Sanabria to start, play the first half, and then Moreno can come in. I want Atura on the bench for Teo, so I think that's as good as it could be as we go into the last game of the episode. Looking at the finishing of Sanabria, I can understand why he scored goals. There's not obviously any pressure for him to score every game now. And to be fair, I haven't really been trying to get it to him at all instances so he can score, because we've seen that Vasquez has got 3 goals in his last 2 games and an assist, so he's done very well. It just fell to him. The chance fell to him nicely because Sanabria was alive to it, made a run when Vasquez got the ball played to him. Vasquez was unselfish, gave it to Sanabria, got it onto his right foot, had a shot, and it turned out to be the winner of the game. So it was just a natural progression for him. But anyway, into our last group game, and I'm thankful it is another home game in this, because to end this group we don't need to win, but obviously I want to win because we're at home, plus we want to end with maximum points in Group G, and it's just going to be nice to see how we do in this game, especially because last stream we had 4 out of 5 away games. If it was 5 games this episode, it would have been 4 out of 5 home games, with only 1 away coming to, which would be the next game. Good ball in, but the keeper gets it away. Can Ndidi get to that? Yes, he can. Sanchez. Oh, I think we won a free kick from that. I don't know why we had the ball. Gives it to Ndidi, so we just start again. Gives it into Sanchez, into Vasquez. Vasquez has a shot. This time not as accurate as he has been in the last couple of games. But to be fair, I've seen a bit of an improvement in the last couple of games from Vasquez. So it's going to be interesting to see if he can keep that up and get into... I honestly believe... Well, Vasquez definitely is going to get to 10 assists this season. But I'd be happy with 15 goals and 15 assists this season. Good ball through. Good save by Diego Lopez. But yeah, 15 goals, 15 assists from a winger in his first season. I'd be happy with that, especially if we stay towards the top of La Liga. I think that is what is expected of him. Obviously leaving the Giants, that is Real Madrid, to come to a club that it has ambitions of playing in Europe next season, as in the Champions League. So hopefully, well, he bought into what we want. Costa is fresh as a daisy. He's back in the squad. Got Sanabria, and that is going to be a foul, and that is going to be a yellow card. I wish I could play on, but we did actually make a mistake, so we gave the ball away, meaning that the ball had been brought back. But hopefully we can just keep on going. Got Juan Jesus now. Gives it into Renato Sanchez. He's going to have a shot because there's no one around him. It is just high of the goal. Decent start, but we had a much better start away at Rangers in the last match day in the Europa League, so I think that is like the benchmark, what we want. Diego Lopez comes out as goal. Commanding figure, standing tall at 6 foot something. Sanchez. He's actually had a very good episode. Surely that's a foul. Sanchez trying to win it back. He just missed out on it. Sanabria closing down. That's a good ball over the top. Just wide, and oh, it was offside. Oh no, it wasn't. Wow. I thought it was offside. Okay, we're causing our own mistakes right now. Tolisso. Morales isn't really alive to it. He's not getting in behind. See, our passing hasn't been great so far. And we've lost the ball again from a throw-in, and it comes down the right-hand side. Can I release it? I think Zé Luis. Look, what is that from Juan Jesus? I did not pass there. Zé Luis now down the right-hand side. Can he get an across for his team? Maybe we know that we're already qualified, so we're just taking our foot off the gas. I hope that's not the case. Complacency setting. Going to Vasquez. Into the feet of Tolisso. Cuts back. Gives it into Vasquez. Out to Sanabria. Sanabria has a shot. Comes to Costa. That is onside. Costa's got his 5th goal of the season. Absolutely crazy. This guy, even though he didn't actually want part of the attack initially, has ended up scoring the 1st goal of the game. Absolutely brilliant. 5th goal of the season. What a player this guy is. It was a good shot by Sanabria, but that's how you rebound a shot. I know Sanabria had a rebound shot against Barcelona on his weaker foot. This is Costa's good foot, and to be fair, it's a very good left foot. All 5 of his goals come in with his left foot, obviously, so very good. And we have now picked up the ball again. Vasquez is running through. Can he get his 4th goal of the episode? Vasquez has still got it. He's headed it in on the rebound. And we have doubled the lead straight after. That is a misery compiler, as Spencer FC would say. Absolutely brilliant by Vasquez. He's saying, oh, if Costa can score from the left-hand side, I can score from the right-hand side. Absolutely brilliant from the ex-Real Madrid man, who was persistent with that, and he was tenacious, and he made a great run through. That's what we need. Players we're running in behind, and we can find them. We have the quality in our passes, even though our passing has been a bit dodgy at times in this game. We do find ourselves 2-0 up. After I was talking about complacency, we have just turned this game around for us. We've got Vasquez now, who's like playing with confidence, wants the best pass ever, but now he's just like finding pockets of space that he is just running into. Good ball through there. He is onside. Hani is. Goes for the cross, but Alvaro does brilliantly to get it away. Into the feet of Ndidi now. Comes to Tolisso. That surely is a foul. Yes, it is. This is a very, very physical side, Spartak Moscow. They played very well against us when we went to Moscow. Tolisso, trying to keep hold of it, but another great interception there. But Sanchez does well, but it falls kindly to Eremenko. Leon has done well. Oh, that pass was awful. Sanchez through to Tolisso. Got one more chance of this first half. Good ball through to Leon. What can he do? Oh, okay, it's just carried on. It's half time. I thought something was given then, but it is half time, and it is a resounding 2-0 in this game. I was going to bring Sanabria off. Obviously he hasn't scored, but I'm going to keep him on until around 55 minutes. Just give him 10 more minutes. He has had a good game so far. Same with Tolisso. I want to bring him off and bring on probably Caceres for yet another game, and he can play in central midfield. But so far, so good in this game. Morales has had quite a quiet game on the left hand side, but honestly I'm still fine with it. Can we get it out to Vasquez, who has been a spark of betterness in this stream. Gives it to Sanabria. Sanabria finds Vasquez, who has another chance to score. He scored! He's got his 5th goal of the episode. This guy has started, like I did say obviously in the last stream, that my wingers, and I expect a bit more from them, but he must have heard me. That's 2 very good goals arrowing into the bottom left hand corner, and that is exactly what we wanted. And a great ball from Sanabria to release Vasquez in the instance, and we are now 3-0 up in this game. 3 very good home games, and it looks like we're going to get 100% record in this episode. Obviously we're down to 3 games, which obviously does make a lot of sense. Got Sanchez now on the outside to Leon, who's done well. Leon in. Sanabria with the header. I was not expecting that, because I was literally about to sub him off, I swear. But he has made it 4-0, and Gerard Moreno is going to come on, as is Munir. I should bring off actually no, Lamina's fine, he can come on for Tolisso, but I was going to bring off Vasquez, but he's on a hat-trick. But Sanabria, he's like, oh, is this going to be a game but I'm not going to score? He's like, no, I'm going to get myself a goal, and he has, and it just has made it yet another emphatic game in Europe. After a 4-0 win away to Rangers in the last episode, another 4-0, and this time it is against Spartak Moscow. Obviously it's not game over yet, but what a header that is, what a leap. Those neck muscles definitely been put to work then. Boom. Right, anyway, we've still got plenty of time. We're not even at the hour mark yet. Gerard Moreno's coming into a team that is full of confidence right now. Vasquez is playing football of his life right now. It seems every time he scores he gets a couple, but I believe he's on 7 goals now. I want to say he's on 7 goals. Gerard Moreno sends it over the top for Vasquez, who does have enough to get on top of that. Gives it to Sanchez, gets it into Moreno. Persistency pays off. Ball back in by Munir, tries again, good ball over the top. Oh, Vasquez was going up for it, as was Costa. Juan Costa was up there again. He's like, I'm one of the top goal scorers in this team, let me play. Oh, but bad ball from Moreno then. We're in the last quarter of the game right now. Gerard Moreno gives it out to Ndidi, who's had a very good game yet again. Goes for a lob through ball to Costa. Good touch by Costa, just couldn't keep hold of it. And now Spartak bring the ball away through Fernando. Eremenko into Zobnin to Zé Luis, but Ndidi was happy just to gather that into Lamina. Vasquez is going through. He's through for the hat-trick. He takes a touch. Oh, he's injured himself. He's injured himself. What a shooting. No. Hopefully he's alright. Hopefully it's just like one of those impact injuries. He's still got it above his head, I believe. Juan Jesus takes the throw-in into Lamina. Munir to Sanchez. Gets it across to Ndidi. Into Moreno. Gets it to Vasquez. Vasquez turns. Does he? He goes down in the box. The fans are appealing. I don't know if there's enough to give a penalty. Penalty isn't given, obviously. Obviously it would be stopped right now. But he goes down under the challenge. These fans are starting to really get behind Vasquez now. It was a slow start, but it did take Sanabria time to get involved. Vasquez, oh, it's not the best ball to through to Munir, so Munir had to come backwards and inevitably lose the ball because he ran into traffic. Here comes Spartak. That's a poor ball out to the wing, and the attack ends. Juan Jesus gives it to Vasquez, who has now, it seems, got rid of that. Must have been just like a impact injury, like I said. Vasquez has a bit of space. He has to cut inside though because there was no space on the outside. He's just running on empty right now. A player that has 19 plus stamina, it's hard to see. Comes to Lamina, outside to Costa, who is again in a position to cross. He gets it to Vasquez with a header. Good header actually on it when he was falling backwards, but a great save by the keeper. Comes in the corner, does it? Comes to Alvaro, comes to Juan Jesus, to Sanchez. Sanchez has to come backwards, does he? Yes, he does. He passes to Gerard Moreno, who is out on the left wing for some strange reason. Costa, Sanchez tries to get it through to Vasquez, and the ball is cleared. Is that going to be it? Ball back in, comes to Munir, comes to Sanchez, who shoots. It does go in the back of the net, but the whistle had just gone for full time. It's another 4-0 victory in the Europa League, and an absolute brilliant one, as that may be. But anyway, looking at the stats, we had better possession, obviously better shots. Our passing accuracy was good with 87%, but yet again Vasquez picking up the man of the match award with 2 goals and no assists. Sanabria getting a goal and assist, which was nice. Leon getting an assist as well, as did Ndidi in that game, and obviously another goal for Juan Costa as well. What an episode, and it's another episode where it's going to be 100% win rate. Obviously, like I say, it is down to 3 games this episode. Normally I would play 2 more games, but because we are getting into the nitty gritty of the season, towards the middle of the season, it is important that I can just like keep a consistency, and from now on it will be 3 games per episode. Anyway, we are on the day of the game against Huesca, but we are going to just be looking to see if we do have an opponent set in February for when we play the next round of the Europa League. Next episode, though, we are going to be playing the away game against Huesca, and then at the end of the week we are going to be playing our game against Real Madrid, and then we're going to wrap up next episode with an away tie against Eibar. I think we can win all 3 games. 2 away games against 2 teams that I believe we can win, and then our home league game against Real Madrid, which I just believe we will win. We're looking in, it's not confirmed yet who will be playing in the Europa League. We need to look out for that in the next stream. But guys, if you have enjoyed this episode, be sure to leave a like rating, subscribe if you're new, and until next time. Actually, you know what, we need to look at some stats. Need to see how players are improving. So Sanabria has now gone to 15 goals for the season, and it's not even halfway, so he could be getting 30 plus goals this season if he manages to keep up his good form. Obviously, he's scored now in 11 consecutive games, which is absolutely brilliant. Vasquez has got 9 goals now. I thought he was only on 7, but he has got 9 goals and 9 assists in 22 games. That is actually brilliant. Now, his form in this episode has seen him climb to 2nd place in our top goal scorers. Gerard Moreno, unfortunately not scoring in this episode, but playing all 3 games, and he unfortunately does. Actually, no, he played 2 games, I want to say. Did Sanabria play? No, yeah, he played 3 games today, Moreno, but he's still only on 6 goals in 19. He needs to improve because Vasquez now is done well. Plus, we've got a left back who's only 1 goal behind you, and he is quite a bit older. He's 30 years of age, so he's starting to drop off, but he has 5 goals in 18. Juan Costa, absolutely brilliant from left back. What can I say about him? He's like nearly got double the amount of goals of Morales, who plays in front of him on that left-hand side. Obviously, Morales does have 5 more assists, which is very crucial. But Renato Sanchez with 3 goals, 6 assists as well, same as Morales, but he plays in a much deeper central position. So it's just interesting. Lamina 3 goals as well, as is Tolisso. So centre mids doing well. Ndidi with 2 goals. So these are 4 centre mids, our 4 main centre mids. All of them playing their part quite nicely. Got Leon with a 1 goal, 3 assists now in his 9 games that he's played. Alvaro's still on 1 goal. Caceres on 1 goal. Teo's 1 goal in 18. That is not good enough. Simply put, Monet is 1 goal in 16. It's just not good enough. And then we go further down for players that have probably played quite a few games, like Cabaselli. He hasn't got a goal or assist. Juan Jesus hasn't got a goal and assist in 10 games. Mario Gaspar has 3 assists but no goals here. He is the only fullback that hasn't scored this season. And Rulli with 10 assists in 19 isn't too bad for his first season with Villarreal. But yeah, like I was saying, if you guys have enjoyed, please leave a like, subscribe if you're new, and until next time, goodbye.